from Monza, this is Italian F4. We're getting ready for a very, very exciting race, and Sebastian Weldon has a chance to become a winner for the third time this season, and we can go down and hear from him now quickly.
Was not ideal, but I think overall I did a pretty good job. Definitely try to keep P1, but I know that slipstream's a lot here, so it's definitely not over if I get overtaken. But just get a good start and try to stay in front.
Sebastian Weldon, the Andretti junior driver, started at 2025, his first race in Europe with victory at Misano, the very first race of the year. And he took pole position yesterday with a time of 1:52.034. Qualifying yesterday, the two qualifying groups on a scorching afternoon, 34 degrees Celsius today, as we say, the first day of summer. Gabriel Gomez, he won last time out at Rome, and he's now speaking with Laura.
Gabriel, coming off a fantastic win last time out on Vallelunga. So how do you feel this morning for race one?
Now, I'm just fully focused for the race. I think our pace is good and we can fight for good positions now. And the important is to make a good race now and good point for the championship.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Down there as well, as ACI Sport momentarily just speaking with the driver who starts in third position, Gabriel Gomez. A driver who's had an interesting season. Of course, he was also a winner last time out in what was a very chaotic round at Vallelunga. And I cannot wait to see what Monza is going to be holding. That is our next chapter in this season. But yeah, Sebastian Weldon is the driver who starts on pole position. Alexander Bondarev is in second. And I mean, as you can see on screen, there is not a single sight of Key Nakamura Burt until you get to row 7, P13. That is where the dominant driver of this season will be beginning his race. So for Sebastian Weldon, it's a huge opportunity to capitalize, and then don't worry. Do not worry at all. Key Nakamura Bata is on pole for race 2 and race 3, and he's going to bring Sebastian Weldon for him, with him for company, is the words I'm trying to say out loud. So that will be the case when it comes to the race that will be taking place later on today, at the end of the day, and then also the race that we're going to be seeing taking place tomorrow as well. So it's going to be quite a fascinating race. Cannot wait to see how it is all going to unfold. The slipstreaming is going to be vital. I was doing a YouTube video on my own personal channel earlier on this week, and I was describing it basically as round 1 being the preview, round 2 being the boilover in terms of Sebastian Weldon, Key Nakamura Berta pushing each other off, and then round 3 the question mark becomes, does it turn into contact? Now, I also mentioned, of course, now specifically for this race, that doesn't apply. It applies later on in the weekend for a lot of it due to them two being on the front row. But we also mentioned that there was going to be more contenders. Italian F4 is the peak of Italian F4 racing. Monza is the peak of Italian F4 racing across this year. And the reason why is basically thanks to the slipstreaming that we get. And it's also the peak of chaos as well. So it's a peak of action, and it's also the peak of chaos. So you get a bit of both, you get a bit of all, you get a bit of everything. You get Italian F4 at Monza. I don't know what else you expect. Okay, right. While we continue to wait then, let's hand it back down to Ian Salvestrian as he continues building up to our contest coming up, our opening contest of the weekend.
Spectacular Grand Prix of the year. 40 drivers on the grid. This is race 1 of 3 here this weekend. Round 3 of the 12th season of the world's most competitive junior racing series. As you look at the American, Sebastian Weldon, the Gamebridge junior driver, the Andretti junior, grid 1 for race 1 here this morning. This is Alexander Bondarev, who was speaking to Laura just a few moments ago, the Williams F1 Academy junior driver, or F1 junior driver from their junior racing academy, the Spanish-based Ukrainian Gabriel Gomez. What a victory at Vallelunga in Rome last time out for the US racing team. Of course, they took the title in 2023 with Kasper Stuka. This is Newman Chi from the People's Republic of China. Great qualifying performance yesterday. Grid 4, also for the Prema Racing team. This is Luca Samalisto starting out of grid 5. Heartbreak at the first race in Vallelunga when he threw away an almost certain third-place podium. Just understeering so slightly off the circuit into Samafro Curves. Max Popoff for the Van Amersfoort Racing Team. Great qualifying performance yesterday. Grid 6 in this 40-car field for the Dutch team. We go to Andrej Kostic, the Serbian, best qualifying result of the year for young Andrej. With the faith that he can take it up onto the podium. He starts out of grid 7 this morning. Kabir Anurag starts alongside. Also for the US Racing Team, the Alpine F1 Academy junior driver, the Singaporean, out of grid 8. This is the front row of the grid.
Yep, absolutely. Let's run you through the grid then. Sebastian Weldon, the Andretti Jr. on pole alongside his teammate Alexander Bondarev. Gabriel Gomez in third. Newman Shi is in fourth. We've of course already heard a little bit about the top 4 from Ian Silvestrian a few moments ago. Those are the first 2 rows of the grid. And as I mentioned, they contain 3 Prema drivers. And then we've got the US Racing driver of Gabriel Gomez in third. We've got the US Racing driver of Lucas Amaristo in fifth, though. Maximilian Popov is in sixth. Andrea Kostic is in seventh. And Kabir Anurag, the Alpine Junior, finds himself in P8. The unmissable Abel Kanurag. Dan Vinci is in ninth. Salim Hanna, who's been doing a bit of heroics in British F4 in between Vallelunga and this round. He's in 10th. Emmanuel Olivieri, a podium contender so far this season. David Cosma Christopher is a driver who's been on pole position a few times this season as well in some of our qualifying races, but it hasn't ended well for him. KNB, his season's gone very well, but he today starts in 13th. He's alongside Enea Frey. Bart Harrison is in 15th, and then we have Badr Al-Sulati, who's in 16th place for JBMotorsports. Alexander Ruta is in 17th. Alex Powell, the Mercedes Junior, goes from 18th place on the grid. Teo Schropp is in 19th. And then we have Ella Louise Ways in 20th position for Cram Motorsport. The number 39 driver will be trying to move forward. In behind him, though, we've got Artur Lormier, who's in 21st. Artem Sevayukin is in 22nd. Luca Viscianu is in 23rd. And then we have Maxim Rem, the German driver, who will go from 24th place for US Racing as well. And then, our next draw of the grid, in 25th sees Javier Herrera, one of our new contenders for this round. The number 24 will go from 25th. Alexander Savinkov is in 26th. Marcus Seita is in 27th. And then we have Andre Charles Dupé, who's in 28th position. Jan Collins in 29th. David Walters in 30th. And then we have Ludovico Busso alongside Phil Collins Strenger, who is in 32nd on the grid. And then, wait for it. We get down to another row. This time it's Peyton Rescott in the Van Amersfoort alongside Andrea Rodriguez. Another one of our new contenders for this round. Emily Cotti is in 35th. Nathan Alberenby is in 36th. We're not done yet. We've got 40 in total. Cornelia Olkutska is in 37th. Francesco Pio Coppola is in 38th. Kirill Kutskov is in 29th. Guy Albag is in 40th. Is it possible for me now to be able to take a deep breath, everybody? Oh, never mind, we're on the formation lap. Here we go. God, that was a long grid to get through, and I'm like, what on earth are we doing here? Unbelievable stuff. Oh, God. Right, 40 contenders, of course. With Monza not having the limitations, we don't need a qualifying race. That's exactly why we've only got 3 races coming your way this weekend. And I can bring it over to the camera screen where I can wave hello and say hello as well. Okay. Well, that is the same thing. That's not very clever, is it? Anyway, enough of me waffling. Absolutely yapping on. Let's focus on the action. Let's focus on Italian F4 that's about to burst into action. Yeah, 40 drivers in total. It's a long grid. 40 drivers for all races this weekend, let me just add as well. So it's a lot to keep on top of. There is a lot to keep on top of here in this round. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it is all going to play out. We're going to get the final few cars heading into position. It is great to have your company wherever you might be joining us for the opening race of the weekend. We are finding ourselves lining up into position on the grid. It'll be Sebastian Weldon on pole, as we mentioned, the Andretti Junior. and he'll try and maintain his position. But the thing that we get here in Italian F4 is a long slipstream down towards the Rettifilo chicane. That's the said slipstream that Sebastian Weldon will be dishing out on his way down there. You can get a good start off the line, but you need an absolutely extraordinary start if you are to keep a chance of holding the lead. If it's a terrible start, it's done. It's done. You're cooked, basically, is the terminology these drivers would use. You're basically finished in terms of maintaining the lead. But you're not really finished, let's just say, if you are able to keep everything going, and if you're able to keep up with others, because Sebastian Weldon, we cut to his interview right at the top of the broadcast, mentioned how we could be in, how we could see some possible contenders have a shot, have a chance, if they are to fall off pole position just due to the slipstream. That applies to everyone. That doesn't apply only to our pole sitter. Anyone could have a chance today, but the most important thing will be keeping your nose clean here in Italian F4. Here we go. Deep breath, everybody. The anticipation is building. Italian F4 is getting all set and ready to burst into action. How is this race going to unfold? The final few cars, it's such a long wait because we've got 40 of them lining up on the grid. Where on earth am I meant to spot the green flag at the back? It surely has to be somewhere. There we go. Green flag being waved at the back. Here come the lights. 3, 4, 5 lights at Monza. And Italian F4 is go at the temple of speed. Brilliant start off the line for Sebastian Weldon. He chops across his Prema teammate Alexander Bondarev as we slipstream away down towards turn 1. Weldon holding the inside line. Is Bondarev going to be able to make his way through? There's a lockup for Gabriel Gomez from P3. How on earth do 40 cars approach turn number 1? There's multiple cars off the road, one including Kabiranurag in the Alpine liveried machine as it's wheel to wheel. Bondarev hits the front. Weldon wheel to wheel he goes with Gabriel Gomez, who is trying to take second place away. Can they all make their way through? I think we've got some damage further back as well as we head down to the second chicane. Which Prema car is going to be arriving in the lead? It's still going to be Bondarev, and Weldon is in second place. That's late on the brakes from Newman Shee. He is going to be settling in for 5th, and 40 of them have got through. They've had to use so many runoffs, but they are through the opening sector in peace. Wow, unbelievable. What an incredible start to Italian F4. We knew there was going to be so much to keep on top of. So much to keep on top of there was. But all 40 of them have got through. I don't believe it. Incredible stuff. As they try and rotate the cars and fight their way down towards the Oscari chicane. Is anyone going to be able to make some progress? Gabriel Gomez still in 3rd position. We will change over some of your information on the screen so you get what you need. Oh, car off through the gravel there. And that is going to be off the road for Emanuele Olivieri, heading backwards. That's not what he wanted. Wheel to wheel we go. That's the Premas. That's Salim Hanna, who's gained a couple of positions, up against Newman Shee. Down to the Parabolica. It's a 30-minute plus 1 lap race, and they're immediately getting their elbows out on the opening tour as we burst down towards the first turn. Weldon's going to get a run. Can he make a move immediately? The slipstream is being dished out. Meanwhile, we've got a battle further back. That's Luca Samalisto trying to defend from Salim Hanna. Does Weldon get the chance into turn 1? They will pick their braking spots very cleanly. Luca Samalisto though, and Salim Hanna goes over the road. Luca Samalisto makes his way through. Another Prem is off the road as well. And I think that's Key Nakamura. Oh, Van Amersfoort's off in the background there. And I think we've got one of the Genza cars involved. So we've had a bit of an incident further back. I think that might be Francesco Pio Coppola and Alexander Ruta. Those two were involved. As it's an absolute brawl as we still continue the racing. Samalisto getting to the inside of Newman Shee. Wheel to wheel we're going to go. And I think it's going to be Newman Shee who's just going to be ahead. And there we go. We look to some of the cars involved in that moment. Yes, it is Alexander Ruta. And it absolutely is also Francesco Pio Coppola. Those are the two drivers who are off the road as we go 3 wide, very nearly through Lismo 1. The safety car's out. It's cars left and right. And we get them to racing conditions. And immediately we get thrown with some wild action. And we also get thrown with, what on earth are we seeing? Oh my word, we've had another incident. Another incident. Cars are off left, right. And that is going to be Bart Harrison, I think. Yes, Bart Harrison's off. Kicking up the gravel. We're going to be in for a very long safety car in Italian F4. Oh my word. Well, we got through one lap with 40 cars cleanly. We've eliminated quite a few of them here on the second, though. Everyone who tunes in for Italian F4 action, there you go. If you wanted chaos, you've got it. Okay, let's hand over to the world feed while I just quickly fix some of our other little technical gremlins going on, because I'm also controlling a touring car stream at the same time. Okay, let's quickly look at a replay first before we do so. Oh, so that's the contact at the back. The Van Amersfoort being spun around. Okay, Ian's going to analyse a bit more of that for us. It was an AF3, the Genza.
This was Bart Harrison a few moments.
So Francesco Piocapolo was another driver involved.
Onto the circuit. Rallycross through the Brit, through the gravel at the exit of Lesmo 2. Brings it back on track. Car 77 in position 37. But fortunately for the Englishman, he is at least still in the race. So the safety car picks up the leader, which is Alexander Bondarev, down into turn 1. Weldon in second. This is Francesco Coppola, a driver from Napoli, or Naples in the south of Italy. The team also from Napoli, based at Circuito Internazionale Napoli, simply known as Sano. Coppola is out, and the sole entry for the Techno race team, who you may remember with Tom Beckhauser, raced with us in the earlier editions of the Formula Regional European Championship back in 2019 and 20. As we see Popov down into pit lane. And also damage to Bart Harrison. So it looked as though he did make very slight contact. The front right, the wishbone, it is still attached, but the car virtually undrivable. That's almost certainly a DNF also for the Brit. Popov with a new front wing. Back into the race, drops right down the order. We'll see where he does rejoin. Good qualifying performance for Max Popov, was consistently in the top 3, the top 5 through practice. Started at grid 6, but has just exited from pit lane. Way down the field, this is Kabir Anurag. Popov, in fact, in position 36, behind Cornelia Olkutska. She had a tough run in practice and qualifying. She's had a clean start, though. The remaining pole after the retirement of Alexander Ruta. This is Kabir Anurag. Position 11, just ahead of Alex Powell, who's already made up 4 or 5 places off the start. More than that, in fact, because he started grid 18, did the Mercedes AMG Junior. He's now up into P12 ahead of Teo Schropp, Marcus Sata, who's made a storming start from grid 24. What about the Norwegian? Marcus up into 14th, and the same can be said for Luca Vistoriano in position 15 for the Real Racing team. Remember, Luca was running in 3rd place at the Monza circuit at the final round of the 2024 championship. Luca Vistoriano up into position 15. A fantastic start for the Romanian from grid 24. But no one better this morning off the line than the Williams junior Alexander Bondarev. He's got the race lead under safety car conditions in race 1, round 3 of the 2025 Italian F4 Championship, brought to you since the very beginning by WSK Promotion. Bondarev from Weldon. Gomez is 3rd. Newman Chi, we are expecting at least 1 more lap under safety car conditions. Under the control of our race director, Mr. Dino Lodola, for 2025. There's Lucas Samalisto, the Finn, car 7 in P5 from Salim Hanna, who's the 3rd rookie. Kostic, Vinci, Dante up to P8. This is Kabir going through in 19. Behind the championship leader, Kin Nakamura Berta, who's down in 9th. DCC, Cosman Christopher 10, Anurag, and Alex Powell. The sun's shining here this morning. If you're just joining us for this, the 3rd round of the Italian Championship, the first 2 rounds of the series at Monza and Vallelunga, such was the track capacity. It was exceeded on both occasions. No problem here this weekend A track capacity of more than 50. 40 drivers on the grid for the start. 36 still in the race. The final driver of which is Max Popoff after making a pit stop. Harrison in the pits. Enya Frey, Alexander Ruta coming together, as was Francesco Coppola. This just a few moments ago. Down into turn one. Also looked as though Luca Samalisto was lucky to just get by Salim Hanna. Ruta parked against the wall. Enya Frey, and the pole goes airborne. Loses the front wing. And Francesco Coppola also brought out, or also caught up in that incident. The safety car in this lap will go back green this time. Confirmation from race control. So Bondarev, not really a task or a challenge to keep the tyres up to temperature. It is a warm morning here this morning. We are expecting thunderstorms this afternoon prior to race 2. But for the moment, the sun is shining, the track is dry.
Yes, indeed, Ian Silvestrian. Okay, good to know that we could have thunderstorms for race 2. Oh god. Don't worry, I'm not as excited for that. If it's rain, which you know is dealable, then fine. I remember my first ever time calling a Freca race on JB Motorsports was in the rain actually. It was a rolling start. I only got a standing start for the season finale at Monza last year, so yeah. I wouldn't mind another wet Monza race for a feeder series. Action usually can be crazy in the dry, in the wet, no matter what it is. Anyway, deep breath. How many do we have remaining? 36 we're saying? Did Bart Harrison make it through there? That'll be important to know. We're back to where we are. We've got down to 36 or 37, which is our usual range for a race 4 race from the previous 2 rounds. So that's quite interesting. Anyway, here we go. Alexander Bondarev is backing the field up. You've got a Prema in first, you've got a Prema in second, you've got a Prema in fourth and fifth. You've got the US racing driver Gabriel Gomez separating them in third. When does Alexander Bondarev go? Going to be very important as he backs the entire field up. They are all in a train here at the Temple of Speed at Monza. That speed is about to increase as they are about to battle down towards the Rettifidio chicane. Italian F4 is underway once again. Alexander Bondarev immediately breaks the toe from his teammate Sebastian Weldon, closing in. Gabriel Gomez is going to have a run as well as we blast down towards the first corner. Gabriel Gomez alongside Sebastian Weldon, our pole sitter for this race. Gomez to the inside. Can he get by? There's a lock-up at the front from Alexander Bondarev. He'll make the corner. Weldon won't though. He has to cut over the road after battling with Gabriel Gomez, and when he rejoins, he'll surely have to give the place up to Gabriel Gomez, which he will do so, and it's Gomez who improves himself up to second place as we see Luca Samalisto trying to put some pressure on Newman Shi. That's the battle for fourth place, but it's Bondarev still in P1. Bondarev in the lead. Side by side goes Luca Samalisto. Can he control that one on the brakes? Down the inside goes Salim Hanna. That's close to contact between those two drivers as they rotate their way through. Down to Lismo 1. They're doing well. We've got a car off in the background momentarily, but it continues on. Have we got them? Yeah, we do. Okay, so they're all continuing to make their way through. I was just going to check. I momentarily saw yellow, but no, we are all okay. So, we are going side by side. That is going to be Maxim Brem battling his way further back. And he is up against Charles Dupé, I think. Salim Hanna improves. He gets past. Or he loses a position rather to Luca Samalisto. My apologies there. As they make their way through. You've got a Van Amersfoort in the mix. Cars are absolutely everywhere. Kabir Anurag trying to make his way through. This is going to be a big brawl. Here we go. We're going 4 wide very nearly 5 wide. Look at the top of screen. If you are synced up with us at the moment. Down to Parabolica, who appeared ahead. The camera angle showed us absolutely nothing, but We finally are seeing the brawl down the start-finish straight at Monza. Here we go. Bondarev breaking the slipstream at the front. The Primas are wheel to wheel. We're going 3 wide. Very nearly 4 wide down the straight. Italian F4's going absolutely wild. We're very nearly 4 wide further back. But at the front of the field, Gomez has a look. Can't make his way through. Who arrives in the braking zone ahead of this gaggle? Lucas Amalisto loses out. Up goes Alex Powell. And then we've got Newman Shee who's ahead of them all. The Van Amersfoort trying to get himself into the mix. That is going to be getting super tight in a few moments. Andrea Kostik's there. And you've also got Keen Nakamura Berta trying to pull off a double overtake. We're wheel to wheel. 3 wide for the lead we go. Weldon past 1. He's not going to get past 2. I thought he was going to get past a pair. Unbelievable racing. So, Bondarev, then Weldon, defending his way through into Lismo 1, and he will do so. My word, is this racing absolutely wild. I don't think I've ever covered this wild racing. I was talking about how Freckle was absolutely unbelievable, but God, we're going 4 wide, very nearly 5 wide. What is going on? Guys, it's just a morning. My voice is still, like, you know, getting ready. I've not had anything before this. Oh, we've got a car off in the background there. Oh, this is unbelievable. Oh no! Bondarev spins! Weldon has to take avoiding action! That is our race leader, Alexander Bondarev! He spun into the middle of the road! Unbelievable! Bondarev spins! The driver who did so much hard work to keep hold of the lead. The plumes of smoke are illuminated across the circuit to a point where we couldn't even see anything with our pictures. But that's a moment where Bondarev was under serious pressure from Weldon. He made the error. He spun around. Everyone luckily took avoiding action, whether it was through the right-hand side of the circuit or a trip through the gravel. Unbelievable. I cannot believe what we've just seen. A mistake comes in from Bondarev, and that sees the end of his race, and surely the safety car out once again. He's got going. The safety car's out, but he's got going again. What a moment. Bondarev spinning round from the race lead in a race where we've seen 4 wide, where we've seen 5 wide. It's been unbelievable. Oh, this is why we sign up to Italian F4 racing, everybody. If anyone wants to know why, here is your answer. Dramatic moment, which will see Sebastian Weldon take the lead. Yeah, great avoiding work, I have to say, from the field. What an unbelievable contest we've had. It has been box office all the way through. And it's been safety cars as usual, as you'd usually expect in Italian F4, everybody. Safety cars in this lap, perfect. We don't even have to wait at all. So, right. So to summarise this race so far, we've had 4 wide, we've had 5 wide, and I think we've already had like 1 lap of green, 2 laps of green flag racing. But we've managed to get 4 wide, 5 wide, everything unbelievable. And we've got Weldon, who lost the lead. He lost a couple of places. He's been across the road. He's had everything go on today, but he's back in P1 somehow. Well done to the field for avoiding him there. My word. We're of course going to be covering the E4 Championship as well, because it's basically Italian F4. That will be holding its finale at Monza as well. And that will be on the Freca weekend. I'm going to have Freca and Italian F4 cars, but E4 if you get what I mean. On that weekend it's going to be wild. And then we have GB3, which ends its season here as well. It's a whole cluster of finales. There's, I think, 4 finales in 3 weeks that we're doing, which is unbelievable for these categories. It just makes me so excited. But we don't have to worry about the future. We've got still 12 minutes plus a lap of racing. I don't know how much of that we're going to get, but let's find out. You're here with me. We're watching it live. Or if you're joining after the fact, great to have your company as well. Sync up. We're at 11, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, as we continue to take down. Through the parabolica goes Sebastian Weldon. It is time to resume the race. Weldon saw the spin for his teammate. Now, he tries to keep it pointing in the right direction after taking great avoiding action on his teammate's mistake. Let's go racing in Italian F4. Weldon hasn't got away well. We're going to see him under massive pressure because here we go with Gabriel Gomez surely about to hit the surely he's about to hit the front as we go down towards the first corner. Weldon next to Gomez. Gomez late on the brakes. Weldon hangs on to the lead. Lock up for Samalisto. Around the outside goes Salim Hanna. He cuts over the road. He'll rejoin. We've got a car off into the gravel. I think that might be Kostic, Andrea. Can they all make their way through? There's cars left and right in the background. Premers are super close together. It's wheel to wheel through Curva Grande at the front. Can Gabriel Gomez get to P1, or is it going to be Sebastian Weldon to hang on? Weldon, late on the brakes. Does he make the corner? He does, and he does so as our race leader. Weldon maintains the lead. Samalisto defending. Here comes Salim Hanna. He's not going to risk it around the outside. And is that damage for Van Amersfoort there? You've got the number 65 dropping downwards. Wild stuff into Lismo 2. Surely there's not enough room for that. Unbelievable. Great action as we make our way through. We're 2 wide, we're 3 wide. We are so tight. There we have Francesco Pio Coppola getting in the mix. Or his teammate rather. Apologies. Francesco already finds himself out of the race, so absolutely he's not going to be in the mix. Kabiranurag, looking left, looking right, getting the door shut. He'll have to go to the outside. That'll be of Luca Samalisto, surely. And is Kabiranurag going to be able to get by? He wasn't able to do so. So that's with Andrea Kostic, rather. So Andrea Kostic's the car ahead. Our timing boards are not updating as we want them to. Weldon's breaking the toe. Here comes Gabriel Gomez at the front. It's 2 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide further back. But into turn 1, it is going to be wheel to wheel. Lock up for Weldon. Does he cut over the road once again? No. He'll keep it going this time. Meanwhile, the Prema's going at it. You've got them line astern at the moment. Key Nakamura Roberta, having started in 13th, has improved. We've got a car off in the background as we're side by side through Curva Grande. And it's going to be Salim Hanna versus Key Nakamura Roberta. Can our winner of so many times this season find a way by? Gomez can't make the move for the lead. Kabiranurag having to defend further back up against Andrea Kostic. And it is going to be Salim Hanna who does hang on up against KNB. Oh, car off in the background. Into the gravel we go with Luis Ella's disappointment, and that will surely cause the safety car in Italian F4 once more. When does the deployment come on our screen? Here we go. Okay, let's take a look at the replay. What on earth happened to see Ella Louise Ways beached? Apologies. We don't get to see it, but we do get to see the wheel. Oh, there we go. He gets spun around. Where does the beaching come? He is beached there. Okay, right. So that's what's happened. Right, let's hand over to Ian Silvestrian, who has a bit more information on what's been going on so far.
Moment under ferocious attack from Gabriel Gomez. Down into turn 1. Elia Weiss, ADAC German junior kart racing champion from 2 seasons ago. We'll just try and pick up the position also of Alexander Bondarev. He is running out of time to recover something from this race. He is in 24th position though. He's made up 10 positions. The safety car will help somewhat for the early race leader. So the order is Welder from Gomez, Samalisto, Nakamura Berta. Outstanding from KNB as Elia Weiss, helmet off, walks back to the side of the circuit and back to explain to team owner Gabriele Rosé exactly what happened down into turn 1. Nakamura Berta, P4 from Salim Hanna, Newman Chi, Anurag 7, Kostic 8, Cosma Christopher. And what about Marcus Sata? The Norwegian going on through in 67 has just taken his Australian teammate Dante Vinci, Luca Vistoriano. There's Alex Powell going through. That great work, that great start from 18th to 5th coming undone as Elia's car is craned off to the side of the circuit. Al Salati going through ahead of David Walter, who's up into 15th place. Brilliant drive from David, grid 30 to 15th. A lightning quick but remarkably unlucky driver so far. Former race winner in WSK International Kart Racing for the Tony Kart Racing team. David Walter for the Maffei Racing team, 30th to 15th as we get news again from race control. The safety car will come in at the end of this lap. The final 6th of the race in real terms. Just over 5.5 minutes plus 1 lap to race in race 1, round 3, the Italian F4 Championship, home of the Italian Formula 1 Grand Prix on a beautiful sunny morning, the first day of summer, the Cathedral of Speed. As you look at Arthur Lorimer go through, the French driver for the 3-car Viola Formula Racing team. 27th position ahead of Guy Elbag, who's kept his nose clean from grid 40th up into 28th ahead of the American debutant, Andrea Rodriguez. And credit also to Cornelia Olkutska, who's there still circulating despite a messy race thus far. She's in 30th place. Driver coach this weekend, Lena Bueller, who's hobbling around on crutches after a brilliant podium, the Road to Le Mans 7 days ago. Huge congratulations to Lena, who's here in the paddock on crutches, mentoring Cornelia Olkutska, who had a tough run in practice.
Yeah, she did indeed. Anyway, she'll try to put that behind her, and she'll try to focus on the contest that is ahead. We've got 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. We've got plus 1 lap after that one as well. Last time we had this restart, Sebastian Weldon did not catch Gabriel Gomez out. Will it be the same story this time around? Let's find out. Out of the final corner we go. Getting his foot down. Much more better this time around for Sebastian Weldon. He's got a distance to Gabriel Gomez, but it does not mean he's safe because the slipstream is so powerful here at Monza, and he knows it because he's weaving left and right to try break the slipstream. The Premers are wheel to wheel meanwhile, and that is going to be Salim Hanna up against Newman Shi. Wheel to wheel Gomez does get alongside Sebastian Weldon but can't get ahead. Lucas Amalisto. Side by side he goes, and he's up against Kei Nakamura Berta, who is somehow improving to the podium position. Kei Nakamura Berta on the charge, and he's taken 3rd. That is remarkable from Kei Nakamura Berta. He is powered away by having started 13th on the grid. And if the top 2 continue brawling amongst themselves, they may give an opportunity to KNB around the outside. What a brilliant move to hit the front for Gabriel Gomez. And Weldon somehow loses out to the driver who started in 13th. As we see Kei Nakamura Berta get to 2nd. Weldon trying to hang on up against Lucas Amalisto when we get to single file, and Lucas Amalisto can't get by. What on earth is going on in this race? Unbelievable! Racing down towards the Ascari chicane we go. Kei Nakamura Berta, who started in 13th, has a chance to win this. This is unbelievable stuff. We knew it was going to be chaotic. We go down towards Parabolica. And he's got an opportunity. Here comes Kabiran Urag, putting the pressure on Newman Shi. Down towards the braking zone. Are we going to see the move around the outside? Here we go. It's wheel to wheel through the Parabolica, and he gets squeezed very nearly off the road, but he's gonna have all the momentum and a bit more down the straight to make this move out of the slipstream alongside. Weldon will be there as well. We're about to go 3 wide for the lead, down towards the Retafilio chicane. Weldon to the outside, and Weldon's gonna get past a pair of them. Unbelievable stuff. Weldon hits the front, under braking. Weldon takes the lead. Keen Nakamura Bata around the outside takes second, and down to third goes Gabriel Gomez, who loses 2 positions, down 1 straight. Can they all make their way through? Down towards the Retafilio, now towards the second chicane. Unbelievable. I can't believe we've just seen that from Sebastian Weldon. But he's got Keen Nakamura Bata there. It's going to be so close. Weldon hangs on under braking. Down the inside further back. That is going to be off the road for Salim Hanna. And Keen Nakamura Bata is going to be there. He's got the inside line. To Lismo 1 we go. And to Lismo 1 we go with, off the road goes Alexander Bondarev. With time running out in this race, this could be the last opportunity. Anurag's off. He rejoins just ahead of Andrea Kostic. Dante Vinci's there as well. This could be the last few moments of racing if the safety car is to come out. Where is the car of Bondarev placed? It's wheel to wheel. Oh my word, they're so close to contact. Anurag just ahead. That is off. Dante Vinci, the gravel is being kicked up absolutely everywhere. We could be about to go 3 wide in the battle for 4th. Gomez is going to get a run. I'm not seeing a safety car deployed. We may just be able to get away with this one. 9, 8, 7, 6. I think we're going to get 1 more lap of 2 more laps of racing. They're letting this one run. Here we go. Down the straight. It's a complete brawl. We're battling absolutely everywhere. 3 wide. You cannot overtake into turn 1 though. You may not make any overtakes, but they're wheel to wheel everywhere. Can they keep it in formation, or they could leave themselves vulnerable to the stewards? We are seeing dive bombs made. There's a lockup. Lockup in the background. The yellow flags are out. You can overtake from this point now through Curva Grande. Gabriel Gomez has got a run. He's alongside Keen Nakamura Bata. He's ahead of Keen Nakamura Bata. That's P2 for Gabriel Gomez. Down to the braking zone of the second chicane we go. I think we're just going to get away with this one somehow. We're going to get away with it. Cannot believe it. They're letting this one run with a car that is stranded, but we're going to have 1 more lap after this of racing. We've got a car going through the gravel momentarily. Can Gomez get close enough to make a move, or will it be Sebastian Weldon? And if this is going Weldon's way, I think out of everyone in this race, he may just be the most deserving winner, because he's been a contender from start to finish. You've had so many other drivers join him, including Gabriel Gomez, but now Keen Nakamura Bata has joined them all at the end of this race. Out of the Parabolica we go. Keen Nakamura Bata taking the wide line. Can he get the run down the start-finish straight? Can he get the run? Let's find out. He's closing in. Is he going to be able to get by? He may not do it at turn 1 due to all of the yellows that we have, but could it be later on in the lap? Into the braking zone. It's nice. It's controlled by Weldon. It's nice and controlled by Gomez and Keen Nakamura Bata. Same applies to Newman Shi and Salim Hanna. They go through. They're in 4th and 5th at the moment. They go past their teammate, Alexander Bondarev, who's stranded. This is the last lap of Italian F4. Can Gomez get close enough to make the move on Weldon? Weldon looks like he's on his way to the win for the 3rd time in Italian F4 while they brawl behind. Anurag around the outside of Andrea Kostic. Anurag cuts over the road. He will need to give that position back 100%, or that will be the Alpine Junior vulnerable to the stewards. They are chopping each other across right now in the background. Anurag does give the place back. in a few moments, but does he do so without giving a place to Caustic as well? Cosma Christopher, rather. To the Sky chicane we go. At the end of this race, Weldon in the lead, gets it controlled. He nicely navigates his way through. One more back straight remains. There will not be a change in the battle for the lead. There still could be something in the battle for second place. But Key Nakamura, what a drive it's been from 13th up to 3rd. Could be second if he can do something extraordinary at the end. He's going for it down the inside. He has a look. He can't get by. It was a half look to scare his rival off the road. Leonardo Fornaroli style. He couldn't do it though. Sebastian Weldon is going to come across the line to win for the 3rd time in Italian F4. Weldon wins as he takes the checkered flag. Gomez is in second, and Key Nakamura, who has pole for race 2 and race 3 later on, gets a podium out of nowhere in race 1. Newman Cheese in 4th. He's our rookie winner from this race. It's Salim Hanna in 5th. Lucas Amalisto is in 6th. Dante Vinci is in 7th. Andrea Kostic in 8th. Anurag is in 9th. And then it's Olivieri in 10th. What a race that was! Huge congratulations to Weldon. So deserving. And we'll hand over to Ian Salvestrian for the post-race ceremonies.
Just in front of his mother, who's watching on from
That's
down
special.
in La Prima Variante, the first corner. Susie, you can breathe once again. Your boy has done it again. Takes victory in the Italian F4 Championship. Race 1 of 3 here this weekend. The Andretti Junior takes the win from Gabriel Gomez, and a brilliant recovery from Kin Nakamura. So multiple safety car interruptions, but it was still some fabulous racing throughout. Unfortunately, a forgettable morning for Alexander Bondarev. Started out of grid 2, was the early race leader, but ended the race on the side of the circuit. He wasn't the only one. Crashed down into turn 1, eliminating Francesco Coppola, Alexander Ruta, Enya Frey. Bart Harrison also retired, as did Andrea Dupe, who never did rejoin the PHM racing driver from pit lane. Elia Weiss, an incident down into turn 1, and also Maxim Rem, along with Alexander Bondarev. The 7 retirements from the 40 starters here this morning for the first of 3 races here this weekend. Sebastian Weldon takes the victory, well deserved as well, from Gabriel Gomez, who keeps this championship well and truly alive. The battle between Us Racing and the Prema Racing team, who finish 1, 3, 4, 5. Us Racing in 2nd and 6th place. So Sebastian brings the car back to the pits in P1 unscathed. He gains victory here this morning. 2nd in the series coming into this round of the championship. And the driver from the United States of America wins race 1 here this morning. Weldon takes the victory. Gomez 2nd. Brilliant recovery from Kin Nakamura from 13th to 3rd. Newman Chi takes the rookie victory from his Prema Racing teammate Salim Hanna. Fastest on circuit, Lucas Amalisto. Dante Vinci. Great drive from the Australian for 7th and 3rd rookie home. Kostic, Arnoldag, Olivieri just beats home David Cosma Christopher for P11. Good drive from Badir Al-Solati. Head of Vistoriano, Sata, Savinkov, Teo Schropp, Alex Powell, and Max Popov way down the order in 17th and 18th position from Ludovico Busso and David Walter in 20th place. The retirements, including in 33rd position there, Alexander Bondarev. We'll see him and everyone else back for race 2 at 6 o'clock this evening as Sebastian celebrates. And the Prema driver takes another victory. Team manager for the Prema Racing team, Nikki Cadet. happy with the performance not only of his winning driver, but his entire team here this morning. Gabriel Gomez, second place. Third in the series coming into this third round of the championship. Kin Nakamura Berta does still retain the championship lead at this early stage of the series. This is, of course, round 3 of 7 for 2025. We'll try and get a word with the race winner in just a moment. He did it the hard way with a brilliant victory. A move around the outside to go P1, and Sebastian Weldon is in pit lane.
So great job. You managed to pull away after the final overtaking, but you have a moment at the second chicane. What happened?
Yeah, it was a bit difficult, especially with the yellows. Everyone was really close together, and I had to use the runoff. But overall, it was a really good race, and I'm really happy with how it went.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The highlights of race 1 here this morning. Alexander Bondarev from grid 2 went wheel to wheel with Gabriel Gomez. Sebastian Weldon from pole position with the initial good getaway. But it was the Williams F1 Junior Star who would take the lead in the early stages of the first race here this morning. A lock-up from Gomez, who did superbly well not to run into the back of the Prema duo. Kin Nakamura Berta was making his way up through the pack. And then this happened. Alexander Ruta into the wall, coming together with Enya Frey. Francesco Coppola also eliminated. And then this, Alexander Bondarev inside rear, just clipping the gravel, and he went around by himself. Fortunately, was parked on the middle of the circuit on the racing line, but was avoided by the rest of the pack. That brought out the safety car briefly. Sebastian Weldon under attack from Kin Nakamura Berta, who went around the outside. Gabriel Gomez was briefly into the race lead. They made it 3 wide, but this was a brilliant move. That won the race for Weldon, and the American would go on to take victory from the South American Gabriel Gomez. And Kin Nakamura Berta, the championship leader, with a brilliant recovery after a forgettable run in qualifying by his high standards yesterday. 13th to 3rd place here this morning. Weldon wins again. A warm day here at Monza. A large crowd building, of course, part of round 3 of the TCR World Tour. And, of course, 40 cars on the grid for the Italian GT3 Championship later on this afternoon. Race 2 to take place at 6 o'clock this evening. Kin Nakamura Berta will start on pole position for race 2. He stands on position 3, or the 3rd step here this morning, after a great drive. Still the championship leader. Home in 3rd place. A great attacking race for the Brazilian, who was briefly in P1. Finishes in P2, the South American for Us Racing. 2nd for Gabriel Gomez. And another race victory for the driver from Florida in the United States of America. The Andretti Jr. for the Prema Racing team. Weldon wins again, racing for the very first time in his young career here at the home of the Italian Grand Prix. Weldon wins race 1 here at Monza.
E via con l'inno nazionale. Comunque, mentre iniziamo con le
Congratulations to Sebastian Weldon on an extraordinary performance to take home the race victory. It's been an extraordinary race. It's been an extraordinary day. We have already found ourselves with an extraordinary way to start the weekend, and I'm looking forward to seeing what race number 2 will hold. Thunderstorms possible. It's going to be dramatic. It's going to be wild, and I cannot wait to see you then. We're going to set up the streams right now. Apologies for not having that set up. We've had things arriving late to us. We've had all sorts of drama, of course, with 3 of our team members at Alton Park. So everything's going a little bit weird in terms of everything's being done a little bit late. So we aren't able to completely get everything to you on time. So we apologise for that one, but we'll get the stream set up and everything will be prepared and ready for Italian F4 Race 2 later on. We'll see you then. Goodbye.